Yeah. Uh-uh. Yeah. XG.
Everything I do it A1 flawless. Make them go insane. Pandemonium, riot. Always looking fresh, got the green in my diet. Head to my toe, shining like canary diamonds. Yeah, freedom cool kiss, not into it. Going stupid, saucing. We are movement, never losing. Making moves, stay poppin'.
Giving my all, will it pay off? Working overtime, no days off. All these shooting stars in the dark. All these shooting stars in the dark make a wish. Take it off from the ground, it's amazing. It's so out of this world, I'm in space. Now I'm going up, heading to the stars, wouldn't tread it up for another life, no. Yeah, we riding up. So shining for sure. Ooh, I am looking so lavish. Ooh, I put it well like it's a habit. It's a big move. Every day's like a dream, making big moves. Yeah, we do it for a team. Ooh, I'm looking so lavish. Ooh, I bet you can imagine.
I'll be the one, don't need a stunt, cause we cool and suit and booty just for fun, You couldn't run up on me, I'm too out of this world. I got that spaceship jumping ready for my lunch. I don't care for my bread, I'm just going dumb. I ain't tryna fire shots, but they do it long.
I know they're watching me, I'm on a wannabe. Nobody touching me, I got this energy.
Baby boy, giving my all, will it pay off? Working overtime, no days off. All these shooting stars in the dark. All these shooting stars in the dark make a wish. Take it off from the ground, it's amazing. It's so out of this world, I'm in space. Now I'm going up, heading to the stars, wouldn't tread it up for another life, no. Yeah, we riding on low. So shining for sure. Ooh, I'm looking so lavish. Ooh, I put it well like it's a habit. It's a big move. Every day's like a dream, making big moves. Yeah, we do it for a team. Ooh, I'm looking so lavish. Ooh, yeah, I bet you can't imagine. Oh, you're rocking with a dream team. Call me stripping when we hit the scene. Oh, you're rocking with a dream team. We're shooting from another galaxy. And you know we take it all the way. Lights and camera action is just how we live. Don't get it twisted, this entire play. Just know that XG is going on. Riding up. So shining for sure. Shining, so lavish. Ooh, I put it well like it's a habit.
Big move, every day's like a dream. Making big moves, as a she is the queen.
Hey everybody, I'm Rick Beato. In today's episode, I interviewed Danny Carey, drummer behind the legendary rock band Tool. Known for his complex time signatures, polyrhythms, and extraordinary technique, Danny has been a pivotal force in shaping Tool's sound and pushing the boundaries of modern drumming. I went out to LA for the interview, and I got to go in the secret Tool rehearsal space to do it. Danny's a great guy. I think you'll really enjoy this. Here's my interview.
I normally say welcome, but I'm here in your studio in
Yeah,
the,
so I
in the
can say
Tool.
welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the Tool rehearsal space, but this actually started as your place that you lived.
Yeah. When you first moved to LA as a drummer, the battle is just finding a place where you can play your instrument. So I lived in a couple of garage guest house apartments and things, and then I stumbled on this with a buddy of mine who was a photographer, rented a place down the street, and the landlord told him about it, and it was just a barren shell pretty much when I moved in here, and now we've decked it out like a semi-studio, you know. I put lots of toys, and I built the loft, built the bathroom, put in the cabinets, all that stuff, you know.
So every Tool song has been written in this place.
Every Tool song, the band actually got put together here because I had the space. I had my drum set up, and actually when Maynard moved in next door,
Like literally next door.
yeah, upstairs in the loft there, him and Adam were kind of trying to get something going, and I had a little PA in the room, so I said, oh, I'll rent you space to do it, and every time they rented the space, whoever they asked to drum for them would flake out because they'd want to move their crap or something. I just go, well, okay, well, I'll jam with you guys,
Wait,
and that's how the band got put
Oh
together.
my
you know.
God.
Yeah, it was like I was playing with Jeff Buckley and Carole King and doing like a TV show, and I know lots of stuff with John Humphrey, who taught over at the MI place, and then so I when I played with Adam and Maynard, it was pretty weird, heavy stuff and like odd time signatures and all this stuff, and I thought, this is really cool, man. I'm gonna do this for myself. But no, I'm never gonna make any money doing it. But I really love doing that, and so I kept playing with those guys, even though I figured one of these other things would be how I made my living, Yeah,
Okay, so what year would this have been that you moved in here?
89, probably.
And
yeah.
you went to MI, is that right? Is that
No, I didn't, but I was a delivery man at an audio-visual place, and John Humphrey, who was teaching there certain hours or something, man, he was a delivery man with me, and then he's a great bassist, and he got a couple of good gigs, I think playing with Cher, and then Carole King or whatever, and then when he got the Carole King gig, he quit our delivery job or whatever, and Jerry Angel was the drummer, I think, at that time. He's a guy, good player from Australia. He got the gig with the Divinyls, I think, or something, so they needed a drummer to play on some stuff, so he asked me to do it, and Carole liked what I did, so I got to play a few gigs with her. I tracked like some songs on one record, I think, and then we did like a few kind of corporate gigs and stuff. We never actually went on a big tour, but it was really, really an honor, man. I mean, God, every song is like a #1.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm playing this. That was the first time I got to call home and tell my mom, I got a gig playing with Carole. My mom didn't even know who it was, and I had to sing like, it's too late, baby. I feel the earth move, and she's like, oh, I know those songs. So that was a good feeling.
Okay, Jeff Buckley then? What were you guys doing?
He was studying there.
He went to MI.
Yeah, him and John were going to do some kind of a project, so we kind of put a country band together. And we rehearsed in here, and we did like a few gigs. It was called the Wild Blue Yonder. And we played around bars in town here and stuff, Jeff was amazing. I feel so lucky to have gotten to play with him.
Wow. Are there any recordings of that?
Yeah, there's some stuff. I mean, nothing from a real studio, but we have like DAT tapes and stuff from in here when we used to play. I mean, John probably has some kind of video camera things from the gigs or something like that. Nothing too high quality. It was great after we would rehearse. Sometimes John would take off, and Jeff and I would just hang out and play Zeppelin tunes together. So He knew every song, and I think he had a photographical music memory. He was incredible. I mean, just every lead, everything. He was really gifted. It was a good time.
So those guys move in, you start playing, you start thinking, okay, this is.
I didn't really think it would be something commercial, but we all loved it and we believed in it, and that's, lo and behold, that's what really translated when we did play our first gig. It kicked people's asses, and then, we only played 6 gigs, I think, and then we got signed. Because every gig we played, every person would just come back and bring all their friends to the next one, and we were, by 4 or 5 gigs, we were packing out the little clubs like Lingerie, Coconut Teaser, Al's Bar, Raji's, all the old places around Hollywood, Yeah. So it was cool. It caught fire really quickly, and everybody was looking for the next Nirvana, so the timing was right.
You got signed, what, 92 then, right?
We
Two?
got signed in 90, 91, something
90,
around
91?
there. Yeah, because the first time we played might have been the end of 89, so it was probably 90 when we got signed. We hadn't done very many shows, that's for sure. Yeah.
What is your process for when you come up with a drum part, or how do Tool songs actually happen?
In the old days, like 89, 90, or whatever, when we would write the song, we were just all in the room together, just jamming out, and they would come together really quickly. And as the songs became more complicated, or writing got more ambitious, I guess, Maynard would end up kind of wasting his time in a way, because we're arguing over stupid little phrases like dup dup da dup dup, or dup dup da dup da dup, or and he's just twiddling his thumbs waiting for us to figure it out. So he didn't need to be there when we were going through all that. So now it's just me, and at that time it was Paul D'Amour and Adam. We just would hash the stuff out for the most part, and then he would come in when it was pretty much there, And as we get it more and more arranged as time has gone on before we lay it on him, because it's such a big commitment the way we write. It's all kind of piecemealing jams together, and a lot of it's the jamming part. Then we record every day and then take it home and find the jewels that have happened along the way of the jam, and then go, okay, there's the good one, let's fit this with this, and then come in the next day and kind of the building blocks, start putting these songs together, and that's kind of how we compose every tune. It's painstaking, but the end result is we're all completely committed to our parts, and we all have, belief in what we're playing, because it's been through the filter, so it's good in that way. Then once we get there, though, then we lay it on Maynard, and we'll make adjustments, of course, if he wants to dig in and sing another verse or extend the things, and we're flexible. But
Are you surprised sometimes with the things that he comes up with?
oh, every time it
Right?
takes it to another level. He's incredible. I mean, we're proud of it when we
Yeah.
play it on him, and then it's just like, oh my God, it just goes to a whole other level.
I think,
Every
how
time.
does he think of these things
Every
over these
time.
parts?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So you
I
guys
could
even
never do
think
it.
that,
That's
right?
his gift. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it makes my hair stand on end thinking about it. It's special.
So when I got here, I heard your drums being checked through here, and it sounds great.
Yeah, Tim's got it pretty dialed in.
It's got really dialed in. So when you guys are actually jamming, you really have a great idea as to what the stuff sounds like.
Yeah, we can tell if it's going to translate or not, I think. So it's good because you're not spinning your wheels on something, when you get good sources and good sounds together, you can believe in it.
Were a lot of the things done in one pass with everyone playing?
We go to a big room to capture the drums. We don't actually track here.
Yeah.
It's more just for the writing process. So we'll go into a place like Ocean Way or O. Henry. I did tracks there. Some place that has $1 million worth of microphones and a big, beautiful room. Like we did Henson last time. It was awesome. And then our goal is just to capture the drum tracks, and we all play together.
Yep,
We'll
and capture all
we'll agree on a tempo, and we'll start a click track just in our heads, and then as soon as I count it off, that goes off, and then we're just playing, and then we'll do however many takes it takes for me to be happy with my thing, and then we will do edits, like this chorus might be better with this one. It's funny, but we usually play the song beginning to end, though, And inherently, man, it'll be a couple of BPM off from this excitement, or however you're feeling that day, what you had to eat, could be anything. And so a lot of time it wouldn't match very good. So you kind of you try to get one take all the way through.
So you're playing without a click.
Yeah, I've never tracked a Tool song to a click. So yeah,
I
it's kinda
wondered,
good.
like you couldn't. I mean, I can't even imagine how you would do that.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just. I think a lot of it is because a lot of them are such weird time signatures. It'd be
Yeah.
hard to program a click to it or something. If it modulates metrically or something. But I think it's okay if things kind of speed up and slow down a little bit. I think it breathes a little. And most of the stuff I grew up listening to, like all that old prog stuff, you hear it now.
Yeah.
It's funny how sensitive you become to tempo changes after being inundated with click perfection over all these last
Talk about
years.
that. How do you feel about that?
It kind of takes some magic out of it, I think, but I hope that other people don't just hear it as wrong. I think you can kind of feel like that, probably as young kids, as they're so conditioned to everything being perfect. It might be hard for them to listen to classical music or stuff that breathes. It's another world, that's for sure.
I'd like to take a second to talk to you about this channel. Believe it or not, 57% of the people that watch here regularly are not subscribed. So I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button.
Zeppelin was putting out records then.
Yeah, man, I was so excited. I remember Physical Graffiti coming out and all that stuff. Even House of the Holy. I think I remember right when that came out. First record I ever bought was the fourth record, like with lawn mowing money, my own money. I actually, when the levee breaks and all that.
What's the best Bonham drum part, you think?
4 Sticks is pretty cool. That's a really cool beat. I mean, that one impacted me a lot because it was really hard to figure out. But a lot of the stuff like the Physical Graffiti had the stuff that hit me harder than anything else. That's my favorite Zeppelin record by far. Like Wanton Song and Custard Pie and all that. I mean, that's just hard rockin' good stuff that it really hit home for me. But yeah, like all the Presence I liked a lot too, just because I was the right age and taking bong hits and listening to that. It was incredible. It had a huge impact on me.
Okay, so Zeppelin, and then who else?
Then it was like more the proggy guys, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, like I really liked a lot, and Yes, Genesis. Those records just had the interesting drumming on them, like that mid-70s stuff. And then that was kind of around the same time I started taking lessons, and I had a good teacher that sort of exposed me to some of the fusion things too, and then start playing in the big band and jazz and stuff like 75, 76, and I turned on to Cobham and Tony Williams and all that, and then that was my forte then. When learning to read and kicking the big band was just a great experience, just opens up so many doors in the jazz world, and just to be able to read and go buy Modern Drummer or whatever, and then see the little lessons and be able to do them, be able to get something out of that, like elevated my playing a lot.
Did that teacher teach you rudiments, and you did everything?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I did like playing in the school band. They would have like the state contest thing every spring, and I always learned a rudimental solo, went and played it, in front of the judges and stuff, and then you get a little medal if you got the #1 ratings. I got like 4 of those. That's pretty funny. It was always good for my hands, and I still
You still use
do
a
that
pad
all
and
the
stuff?
time. Yeah, I religiously, a half hour before I go on stage, I play through a bunch of rudimental stuff, even if it's just sticking patterns with the music playing, that at different tempos or whatever. And I think that's why I've been luckily never had any hand problems, no carpal tunnel, knock on wood. But yeah, warm up is essential. I mean, especially on Tool, because I'm hitting really hard, and if I go out cold, it's just painful almost, man. It just doesn't work. My hands will cramp up, and as long as I'm warmed up, it's smooth sailing.
What kit did you play when you first, like on the first Tool record?
I had a Phonic Plus kit that I just bought off of a guy here in town. I can't even remember what it was, but it's a couple of 24 kick drums, and they're all square-sized toms, like 12, 13, 14, 16 or something, you know, and then those were my babies, you know, man. I still love the Phonic Plus drums, man. The Beechwood sound, they just generate a lot of low end. Those bass drums, actually, from that kit, I think I've used on every Tool recording. You know, man, I've have all these other kick drums I've had made, you know, get my endorsements from Sonar, like Signature Series stuff that's insanely expensive, but man, I always end up going back to those kick drums. They're magical or something.
What is it about? It's the tone, right? The
Yeah,
timbre of
just
them.
the frequency that it has the spike or something that's just right, you know, probably, I don't know, around 100, 120 or something. It's just that total chesty thing that just slays. Even without EQing them, they sound monstrous, you know, so I stick with those a lot of the time. I just got some new ones made, though, I'm really happy with, they're maple and have thinner shells that they did for me.
Okay, so you have a theory on thinner shells, right? With bigger drums.
Yeah, I always felt that from playing those Sonar drums, like the little toms just have a cut that nothing else can get, you know. The shells are 9 plies or something, you know.
Yeah,
man, and
really thick.
they could always be heard cutting through Adam Marshall stacks and whatnot, and but then the low ones didn't seem to resonate quite as well. So, and when sometimes I'd play on other people's kit that had the thinner shells, I go, wow, these, especially the low drums, they just reverberate in a cool way. So I had Sonar make me my last 3 kits I think they've made for me. The high smaller toms are really thick, you know, just to get that cut and that fundamental piercing frequency. And then as they get larger, they take a ply or 2 off, and then so those.
I'll actually come back in a minute. Oh, bad.